correct. Hope y'all blessed. Hope y'all good. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and comment. And yeah, man, we about to get active today. Yeah. So, for those of y'all who don't know about me, aside from running a business, of course, I also box. I've been boxing since I was like 11 years old, about 10, 11 years old, give or take. Originally started off with like karate and then got into boxing after, and I started competing in my city. One of the best fighters at the time, like coming out of like my section of like the East Coast. Won a bunch of tournaments, like won a bunch of amateurs. I was pretty nice, I ain't gonna hold you. So, you know, over the last year and some change, I decided to get back into it just because, you know, over time, like one of the reasons why I just stopped, like for various reasons. There's one main thing in particular, but, you know, I'm not going to get into it on the channel right now just because it's a little personal, but we'll get into it in another video, like just a whole bunch of other random stuff. But basically, I wanted to talk about coming back into the gym, being back in the gym for about a year now, like getting ready to compete, and what it's like to, you know, come back in the gym, and pretty much my first time in years getting tuned up like a mug, and like what that did to me, and how good it felt to get back. Oh man, oh, there's nothing like that. Alright, without further ado, let's get into it, y'all. So, I gotta provide some context, right? So, again, a little bit about myself. Like I said, pretty nice with these hands, right? I'm certified. There's been a couple of times in my life where I can think about how I got tuned up and like what those times did to me to force me to get back. And they always come off of me like being out the gym for a while, right? Like, very rarely have I gotten tuned up when I was like consistently in the gym, when I was in the lab working on like my stuff and refining. It always came from me being out for like months at a time, in this case years at a time. Like the one main time that I could think about was when I was like 14, 15 years old, and this kid by the name of Janelle Ventura, who I think his last name is Ventura. I always just call him Janelle Ventura, but like he's actually he's a pro right now. He's like, I think he's in Bellator, like 140, 145 division, something like that. And he's pretty good, right? I remember getting tuned up by this dude, literally, like, just crazy. I'm not even gonna front. Like, at this point in time, I had only been boxing like a couple of years, and I had been off at that point. I had been out the gym for like 7-8 months. I had had a broken pinky prior to that, and a broken elbow, so I really hadn't been working out like that, and I was just trying to get back in. And so I went over to his gym, and you know, coaches were like, yeah, now you want to get up in the ring with him? I'm like, yeah, sure, why not? Like, we'll get some work, you know what I mean? By that point, I had been used to like sparring with like adults and whatnot, especially because I was a bigger kid. Dude was a few years older and was like at that point kind of ready to go pro. He had already won a bunch of belts and like, you know, won a bunch of like, you know, like won a bunch of like Naga swords and all that, like, you know, so he was nice, he was certified. We get up in there and he completely tunes my ass up, right? Absolute tune up. It wasn't even close. I got bodied. I think he hit my nose a bunch of times, and it like forced like tears coming out my eyes. I started crying. Like, it just wasn't good, bro. Like, I got tuned up. But that forced me over the next few years to get in my bag. When I tell you I got in my bag because I got tuned up and I never wanted to get tuned up like that again, dog. Oh man, that was, yeah, nah, I started violating people. I'm not even gonna front. I was in the lab damn near every day. I asked my coach if I could come in on Saturdays and Sundays, even though the gym wasn't open, because the gym was, like, my next coach after, like, being at that gym, just because I was like, yeah, nah, like, I gotta make sure that I stay on my stuff. I don't want to get tuned up again, right? So, you know, we was really working for real. So, shout out. And what ended up happening is, like, I ended up stopping at, I stopped competing by like 18, and then I still was like training and whatnot, like probably up until like 20, 21 years old, but kind of on and off sporadically. And then like altogether, pretty much I had stopped training for like a good, up until I turned like 26, right? And then, you know, I find myself in Maryland, and I end up, you know, going to like Sugar Ray's boxing gym for a little bit. You know, I end up like sitting in and like watching the Golden Gloves out in Silver Springs at the time, and what was it, like 2024 or something along those lines. And I was like, yeah, nah, I gotta get back into this, bro. Like, the dog still gotta eat. Like, I feel it, you know what I mean? Like, I just was like, I gotta do this, man. I gotta do this. Like, so anyways, I get back in the gym. I come back out to California for a few weeks because my lady and I were out in Maryland for a little bit. And we were like, okay, yeah, we're gonna go to Panama, but we gotta go and grab our stuff from California because like we still had like a storage unit out in Cali. So I was like, okay, cool. Like, I'm gonna just find a gym to train at for a few weeks while we out there. I find this gym, right? A couple of pro boxers come up out of there. They nice, I'm not even gonna front. There was some nice, like, you know, solid dudes. First day I get up in there, they say like, hey, yeah, today's actually Saturday. Today's our open sparring day if you want to roll. For me, as a fighter, I always treated it like this. If somebody asks you if you want to roll a spar, as a fighter, unless like I had a crazy session the day prior, I'm not turning down no smoke. You know what I mean? Like, that's just my mindset as a fighter, as a boxer. Like, even if we're just in there going light, like, you learn so much more by being in there with another human being and having another person throw punches at you than you do just from like working the bag or like, you know, running drills. You don't know what's effective until you actually get up in there with somebody who can actually block, slip, and counter and like really like put your ass out. And I'm not even saying it from the perspective of you got a heavy spar every single day, because we advise against CTE on this channel to the utmost. I just want to say that we advise against CTE around here. However, what I will say is that, you know, you want to just get up in the lab and work. Like, it's all good work at the end of the day. So anyways, I get up in there and I literally just hop up in the ring, right? And literally, they're like, hey, yo, who want to spar the new guy? This dude come up in here, right? It's funny, I'm not gonna say his name right now, but me and him is cool. We gonna call him Chris, okay? We're gonna call him Chris. Alright. Chris come up in the ring. Yeah, I got a round for you. And all I hear is just people up in there like, oh shit. Which for me is gym speak for like, okay, this is either A, one of the better guys in the gym, or B, this is a dude who does not know how to work, right? What I found out is that he actually is in fact one of the better, if not one of the best guys in the gym. You know, phenomenal amateur career, get ready to go pro in the next year or two. Solid dude, right? He come up in there, and when I tell you I got dog walked for a whole round straight dog walk. I rolled up in there thinking like, yeah, you know what, like, I should still be good. Like, I look pretty good when I'm throwing my shots. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm in pretty good conditioning right now. I'm like, at the beginning of the year, I was like 285. Now I'm like 230. You know, I'm still looking to lose like another 15, 20 pounds, but I feel pretty good. You know what I'm saying? My power shots is feeling cool right now. I could go up in there and get it. Bro, first shot, I felt like someone put a bullet in my head. I was like, bro, you know you get your ass whooped when you looking around kind of like, who all in here with me, right? So literally, like, that's right out the gate. First 10 seconds, I'm getting dog walk. I already know the moment I took that shot, I was like, damn, I really can't handle that power for real. I'm really about to get mollywhopped. Let me get in my bag and get locked in. Me trying to lock in did not change the locks. I ain't changed no locks on that lock in. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, I'm gonna go ahead in a little bit. But like, I ain't changed no locks on that. There was not a single lock that was changed. Like, we could not lock in whatsoever. I'm like, I forgot my combination. I literally, in more ways than one, I forgot my combinations. I was getting dog walk. And for myself, it was crazy because there had been so many years since I had ever gotten like dog walk. And it wasn't nearly as bad as it was when I was like 15, 16 years old. Now, we are grown ass men now. We're not going to be crying after somebody whoop our ass. You know what I mean? But I think my pride forced me to get up in there for another round too, especially because it was like, I didn't think especially in my mind, I'm like, I always find a way I could get it going. You know what I mean? Like, we gonna get it done. And like, obviously the result did not change. And there was just so many adjustments that I needed to make. And it was just like, you know, it's bad when you up in the gym and somebody literally says like, hey, or like one of the coaches like, hey, yo, you want to get out? Or like the dude who you sparring with asks you mid-roll like, yo, you good? You know you just caught a bad shot and you know you getting mollywopped, right? So, you know, long story short, that ends up happening. They take me up out of there. I got a whole nosebleed and whatnot. Literally, you know, I'm just like on the bag and I'm like, damn, I gotta get my get back, right? So for myself, being the prideful human being that I am, I told them, I'm like, hey, yo, let me get somebody else next. Let me get like 10 minutes, let me get right, and let me get somebody else next. So I do some bag work. I talk to myself, you know what I'm saying? I'm like, yeah, we good, we got you. Come on now. You been about this. Come on now. All cities, all state. Come on, man. You was about to go to the trials. You was nice. Come on. You nice with it. You certified. Get up in there. He bleed just like you bleed. He a man just like you a man. Boom, boom, boom. All the stuff you say when you getting your ass whooped, right? So long story short, I get up in there with another dude. This dude tell me he like 220. Real talk, he probably was close to like 245, 250. Cause like he was a big dude. I'm not even gonna front. But like, and he hit like he was 250. I felt like a truck came over me whenever this dude hit me. We gonna call him, man, we gonna call him Benny, okay? So Benny come up in here, right? Big brother, right? Well, I kid y'all not. Homeboy come up in there. I had a little easier time with other dude. And in comparison to homeboy Chris prior, because Chris was also a southpaw. So like the way that my face was naturally sitting, I was sitting naturally in front of his jab hand. So he wouldn't even have to like pop it out crazy. He would just boop, and I would just and then he just come over with the left, and I was getting dog walk. Other homeboy I was having a bit easier time with, but he definitely hit harder. I remember catching one of those shots, and like if you ever, anybody who's ever sparred or boxed on this channel, if you watching this, you know what that feel like when you catch a crazy shot and like that ringing just starts happening in your head and all the sound starts tuning out, and then slowly but surely it starts to come back too. Yeah, I felt all of that within about a good 5 to 10 seconds. And like, when I tell y'all, he was literally just looking at me like, yo, if you want to get out right now, I ain't gonna shame you or nothing. And I was like, bro, put them hands up, come on. Yo, nose bleeding again. All right, let it bleed. Come on. Yo, don't even, I was really about to be on some like, yo, turn the clock off, right? I was really like, and it was crazy because in my mind, I started going into like, you start like having visualizations and memories and whatnot. And I was like, bro, you know how to do this. Get up in there and box, right? Box your ass off. This is a fight for your life. What you doing? So, you know, we go about 3 rounds, right? And, you know, there was some moments where I actually got the better of them in, like, some of those exchanges, and I got it. And I think, like, I earned their respect for sure. You know, would I say it was enough to make people be like, yo, he the next up, he the next one? Nah, absolutely not. But it was definitely enough to be like, all right, cool, he a dog, he got hurt. Like, he gonna, and he got a punch on him. And like, you know, when he got comfortable, he was cool. I think that was the thing too. I just wasn't comfortable. Like, I don't think people understand, like, when you're not a boxer, I don't think people understand how uncomfortable it is to be in the ring, right? For me now, it's like, before when I was younger, like, I loved it because I was like, man, we on our Tupac, all eyes on me, right? And it was just a great way to showcase the work and the talent that you have, and like, you know, all the work and the dedication that you put into your craft. Now, you know, it's the same thing where I'm like, I love being in the ring. I love taking a good shot. I love, you know, when I slip punch. I love when I get a nice little counter on folk. I love when I see that look over their face where like I got them thinking like they wasn't expecting what I'm throwing right now. And especially now that I'm like 1,000 times sharper than I was last year. Oh, it's beautiful. It's a beautiful thing because now not only am I getting good work and I'm giving good work, but I'm also able to teach as well as learn easier because I'm not so focused on survival mode. So like a lot of people don't really understand that aspect of being up in the ring. But yeah, bro, like I got, you know, that was a dog walk situation. I'm not even gonna lie. Like I definitely was like, well, one of the reasons why I bring that up is because I recently had a chance to like spar with that dude again. And we ended up going from like him dog walking me 2 rounds to going 14, right? We went 14 rounds. And I even put the footage in ChatGPT, and they was like, yo, if I had to score this, you may have slightly edged out the victory, right? Depending on how like the judges are weighing it, you may have slightly edged out the win, depending, right? And I was like, damn, that's such a real ego boost. I'm not really a moral victory type of guy. And I'm like, you don't want to go in and try to win sparring. But I realized, like, damn, like the weight off of my shoulders of like, okay, finally getting my get back of, you know, being able to go in there and really get some good work to do. You know, and him also being able to give me some good work, and like us being able to like actually like grow. And like, you know, we mad cool now from that. I think definitely like you shared a ring with somebody for about 16, 20 total rounds or whatever, you know, or 16, excuse me, because it was 2 and then 14. So, but yeah, you shared a ring with somebody, like you got a lot of respect for them, you know what I mean? And I think especially when it's like, you know, you get to a point where you're just, you know, when especially when it goes from like a vantage point of like, you know, I whooped that person ass, now they coming back and giving me work, like, all right, yeah, nah, like do the lead. Like I always felt that way with people, where it's like if I put pause on them and they came back and they were better, I was like, yeah, nah, like I respect it a lot. So like, you know, it's just that component. I definitely am like, hey, I'm very happy with the results of the training. We'll go into more in depth like what we've been doing over the last year, like what our plans are moving forward, how we plan on collecting some of these belts and collecting some of these W's and really just becoming the best fighter that we can become, while in tandem growing and building out a tech company. I know, it's freaking crazy. 2 extremely wild goals, and like I know folks are gonna be on here and be like, yo, so the man who chases 2 rabbits catches none, remember that. And I'm just like, you are absolutely right. So we better just start spraying. We gonna just have to bruh. Hopefully this video does not get demonetized and deleted because of that. I am not on my John Morant. I ain't gonna hold y'all. No disrespect to John, man. I love the John. But like, yeah, nah, definitely like, hey, we just gonna work. It's all good work at the end of the day. And we just gonna get it done. So yeah, that's my very loose, random story about getting dog walked and mollywopped, and how good it felt to get that get back. And I just had to bring that up too, because like for myself, man, I was like, it took me 10 months to finally get my get back, because I left and went to Panama, and I was training out in Panama, and then I came back to the States, and I was still training a little bit in the States, but I had to take care of this marathon first before I went and like really dove like 200% back into boxing. And then it took a couple of months of me being back in the gym for us to finally get it going. Like the moment I saw him, I was like, yeah, nah, we gotta work. And finally we got a chance to like work. Nobody, like only a couple other people was up in the gym. We were the only 2 heavies. He had hit me like, hey, yo, like you trying to get it going? Like we ain't even gotta go crazy. And I'm like, oh, we going crazy. Oh, we going crazy. I was smiling. I was so happy. I was like, yeah, let's get it. I want my get back. I want it back in the real way. I want it back in the ring. Oh man, nah, like I had to get it going. I'm not even gonna hold y'all, for real. But yeah, nah, that was it, man. Yeah, that's what it's all about though. That's what it's all about. It's all good work at the end of the day. You just gotta keep growing, gotta keep grinding. And yeah, man, I was very happy. So we gonna get it going. I'm gonna definitely be posting up more videos. If I do get the go ahead from homie to post up some of those videos from sparring, then like I'll definitely put them up. But like, you know, like if not, then like I'll definitely be posting up some other stuff as well too. So like, you know, let's just get it going. But yeah, don't forget to like, subscribe, comment. Appreciate y'all for tuning in for this video. I did not mean for it to go 19 minutes. I'm gonna just upload it as is, as I have it, and not make no edits, because I don't really know how to do none of that yet, but we're gonna learn. So again, don't forget to like, subscribe, comment. Let me know what you want me to talk about next, and holler back at your boy. One love. Peace.